machine to where it scores 5 or 6 times out of 10 trips down the floor, then that's what we got to work on. What we're still in a bad habit of doing is the ball staying out on the wing. We're having some good picks and cuts that we miss on the big men roaming off their picks. I want the ball to go inside. And so another thing on the motion, if you're on the wing and you pass the ball inside, I want you to immediately cut through to the basket to either get a handoff pass if your man plays off. What's happening is if you just pass it in, your man sucks right in, and then you're out there, and it's a 2-on-1. So we need to drag that man through, and then the wings have to rotate through, so that we get the balance back. But it's just going to be little adjustments like that. I think after into the next set of games, you guys are going to see a big improvement because now I can dial in on the stuff. Overall, you guys are absorbing the offense well. There's a lot more motion going on than there ever has been. So there's a lot of good things to build on this, and there wasn't a lot. Just little. I'd have to really sit down and nitpick to find little things like traveling and. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think did you take a charge?
No,
I took 2.
Not took 2.
I thought I saw one at least. So
No,
I owe you $2.
How's that?
I like to see more effort. One other thing, if I was going to give you guys some competitive feedback, when there's a loose ball, we stand and watch the other team dive at it. I want to see you guys get up. Instead of tripping and falling, all of you, each one of you, I can look at each one of you and pick a point where you tripped and fall over somebody's foot. I want to see you dive on the floor after a loose ball if it's in play. Yeah.
In that first game, the second game, I went for a ball and I got kicked in the face.
Well, it's going to happen.
Yep.
But the hustle part of it, it takes, it puts more energy into our teammates, but the other cool part about it is it deflates the other team. No one likes to be out hustled. Think of how you feel when you go, oh man, if I would have just done something, I could have got that rebound. Instead, that kid that hustled by me got it. I've had it happen to me. Everybody's had it happen. So more hustle. I want to see more hustle. Especially on the press, we got to be able to press better. We got to be able to press break better. We can't really work on that today because we don't have enough guys to run a full court press or anything. And I'm not going to practice a 4-on-4 because it doesn't do us any good in a game. We need the right spacing. We need the right amount of players. So. But we're going to work on some individual skills today. So guards, all of you need to do a better job protecting the ball with your butt. Your default needs to be, if you're not confident in your ball handling back and forth, in fact, at this point, I would say the only person I have the confidence in to take the ball up on a press break, dribbling, is Nick. He's shown a reasonable ability to keep his head up while using both hands. Everybody else has to watch the ball, and so if that's something you want to be able to give them the green light for, then I need you to work on your ball handling. It's where you're confident, and it shows. It's not something that we're going to take a test for, it'll just show. But as of now, the way we beat a press is not dribbling. Because after a while, I don't understand why either one of those teams, after watching it on our press break, we're doing the same thing every time. The ball goes in and goes right back to Nick, and then they kind of back off out of it. So, yes, it worked like a charm, what I told you. That's the reason why I wanted that part of the first installation of the press break to be that, because that's the most effective way to take someone out of it, is you have the inbound be the point guard, and it's just a quick pass. Because once the ball gets back to the middle, where are you going to trap somebody? The other thing, 2 times I saw somebody trapped in the corner. Give me the ball, leave your ball, and you guys trap me right here. If you get trapped in the corner, I want you to immediately throw it off somebody's leg and get me out of bounds and get the trap. Don't be trying to get around. You're not going to get it. Once you're trapped, once the trap is set, there's no getting out of it. So at that point, I want you to pass fake and slam it off the knee. Not their nuts, because you can get a technical for that. So you got to be accurate with it. Ideally, you want it to hit their foot, because that's what's going to be moving, and then they'll kick it. It's either a kick or out on them. But if you ever get trapped, that's what I want you to immediately do. Either that, or if you're trapped, just turn your back and huddle down, and I'll call a timeout if the situation warrants it. But I prefer not to have to use a timeout, and it's really easy. Said they're not expecting it. And then after you've thrown it off somebody's leg one time, if they trap you again, guess what you can do? Fake that, and then you'll have an open pass. There's nothing illegal about that. There's nothing dirty about that, as long as you aren't trying to hurt them with it. It's legit. Anybody else have any feedback? Did anybody else happen to watch the film from the game? What are your thoughts?
I
Those that
fouled
watched
too
it?
much.
Huh?
I fouled too much.
Why though? There's only one reason you foul.
Because I was
Because you play defense with your arms instead of your feet. When you play defense with your feet, you stop people and you frustrate them. I see it. What about you?
I felt a lot too.
Huh?
I felt a
Me
lot
and Rudy
too.
both
You
fouled out
hustle.
that second
Both of
game.
you have a lot of hustle, which I like, and that's the reason why you're getting those fouls. But what you gotta do is learn how to hustle with control. When you hustle, baiting somebody for the pass lane, which people do to us. And the other thing, anybody running the point, all of you, I watched you pick up your dribble without having a man open. And then you just threw the ball anyway. And hope. Don't hope. If you don't have anybody open, then you trigger somebody come get the ball, please. I've been telling you guys this, and no one still does it. If you see your other man in trouble, if you're the closest one to the ball, go to the ball. Get the hand off. If you're not a guard, hand it right back off, and you can set a pick. We needed to get our dribble back in a safe way. So one thing I want you guys working on when we're not here at practice is wherever you're at, I don't care if it's a tennis ball or a golf ball or whatever ball, I want you watching TV while you're dribbling, I want you doing something else while you're dribbling, and then you gotta be able to work on moves while you're watching somebody else do. You can't keep the ball moving without looking somewhere else. How are you gonna see if somebody's open? How are you gonna be ready? How are you gonna see if someone's coming to double team you? You have to be able to handle the ball with your head up. Trust me, it was the hardest thing I ever learned. If I have to, I'm going to break out Coach Wilson's thing. You know, every right-handed person is going to have their left arm tied behind their back until we get this right. We'll go back and forth. Trust me, being one arm is really hard. I'm an expert with my left now, one arm, because I got tied for 3 weeks. Everybody else wasn't untied. And I got no breaks for playing defense with one arm. I had no breaks for playing anything. So if you guys want to go that route, we can. Or you can show me that you want to do it the nice way, and you'll practice it without being here. And I'll notice. Ball handling takes practice. It's the only thing in basketball, other than shooting, that you can't have natural ability for. Nobody has natural ability dribbling the ball. Nobody. You know who does? People that dribble. Practice. That's the only way to get better at this. That part of the game. And dribbling, frankly, is probably the most important thing. That's how we move the ball around. What do you think?
Oh, I was gonna say I need to keep my head up during, I usually don't do point guard. During that I had to play.
You know what I noticed about you? You do a really good job of moving your drop steps and playing defense. You were frustrating some kids that you were playing defense on. There's good things I saw about everybody, so I want some really good moves to the basket. You had one where you turned the ball over instead of shooting. If you beat somebody all the way to the basket, even if there's someone standing there, throw a head fake in and shoot it anyway. Instead of just passing it, you don't think you have to pass. Big men, I want you to get better at passing to each other. We had a lot of good things. Jackson, your hustle, your ability to sprint, and when you put your mind to it, you can outrun anybody on the floor. You did a lot of good things too. Benny, you had a couple of turnovers, but other than that, I saw some good rebounding out of you. I saw some good passing. You always have good passing. You guys did a good pick and roll, I think it was.
Yeah.
I don't know who it was, I think, but you guys,
It was-
obviously I can
Yeah.
tell you guys go down to the rec center or some other places, you play a lot of 2-on-2 against people, right? I can tell that. And trust me, I've played every type of game you guys have ever thought of. I played 3-on-3 tournaments, played 2-on-2. I played one of my friends in high school, my freshman year. We played 1-on-1 to 500 by 1s and 2s. 4 hours or so. Huh? I did, by 1. It was 501 to 499. By 1 basket. It was-
But guys, that's part of how you get better. It's that type of dedication.
I'm telling you, and I've told him 1,000 times, he always looks at me like I'm crazy. You guys, I don't want to think you understand the level of dedication I put into this sport. There's a reason why I can shoot from out there. There's a reason why I can dribble the way I can dribble. It went beyond practice for me. I lived basketball for a long time. It didn't matter what it was. I didn't have a basketball hoop in my house. I had to walk to the park, snow, I wore gloves. I was out there shooting with gloves on. Broke my arm, had a cast. I could still shoot I could shoot with a cast. Nothing stopped me from that. You have to have that fire and that hunger if you want to get better. If you don't have that fire, and you just, like I said, if you're just doing this for fun, fine. I support that because not everybody has a passion and fire for this game like I do. But I think most of you do. I can see it in you. There was a reason why. You know, I know you're a gym rat. You'd be in there every day shooting, just like I would. But if you don't put in the time, like I said, I know you're teenagers in a different time than I was. When I was your age, there was no cell phone, there was no Twitter, there was no internet. When I had to do it for fun, I could either make up a game or go practice basketball. So you guys are at a disadvantage in that respect that you have more options to take your attention. But I urge you, find, even if it's 10, 15 minutes a day in the morning after you shower or whatever it is. I had a little, those little tiny Nerf hoops they make. I had my Nerf ball and I would bounce it in the shower. You guys, I'm not joking to the level that you need to take this if you want to get better. Because what I will promise you is everybody else at higher levels, everybody else in Fort Morgan High School right now, they're doing these things, and you're going to have to compete against them next year. The other people in other cities that are more organized, have more well-funded, and have more money, bigger populations, those 5A schools and stuff, you've seen it. You all saw it. That girls' team is the best example I can give you of a coach, of a group of kids that have been put through the machine. That live, eat, sleep, and drink basketball. And that wasn't 10 girls from one town. That was 10 girls that are hand-picked, selected all-star team from a huge area. But what it is 10 individuals who put in the work. And when you put 10 individuals who put in the work on a team, and they really understand the team concept, that's what you see. That's the result of it. That's why I fell in love with basketball, because of the Denver Nuggets in the 80s. I wish you guys could have seen it. It was something to be seen. They averaged one year like 130-something points a game.
Was that the year that they scored like 184?
With the Pistons?
Yeah, like I said, it was just pure basketball, passing, picks. And this was at a time when if you came down the lane in the NBA in the late 80s and you wanted to shoot a layup, you're talking about taking a punch. Not like a foul, like straight up.
Dennis Rodman?
Adjust your jaw kind of stuff.
Rick
But
Mahorn.
the point I'm trying to make is basketball is an individual sport and a team sport. If you don't pull your weight on the rope as an individual, if you don't practice your skills, you're hurting your teammates that are putting in the work. It's disrespect to your teammates, not to me. I'll coach whatever, however, like I said, you guys want to play this rec style, we can play this rec style. If you want me to just swap in to get everybody the equal minutes, we can do it that way. If you want me to truly train you to be a better basketball player, I need some commitment, because I've given you some homework stuff before with dribbling and other things, and I can tell you 100%, none of you did it like I wanted it to. Done. Not to the level it needed to be done, because it didn't show. But it is starting to show. There's a reason why I ran a lot more scrimmage style practices this year. It's because I want you guys to practice like we're going to play. And it's showing up in the games, you guys. You blew that first team out. It was almost as bad, not nearly as bad as that first team we played in the brush tournament. We could have blown them out 100-1. You have that ability in you. You guys have the girls' team ability in you. The talent. You just have to learn to individualize, specialize, and understand each one of your roles. I know each one of you watches the NBA. Each one of you wants to be Kyrie Irving or whatever star, or Steph Curry or whatever, whoever your favorite one is. Everybody wants to be the alpha, okay? That's not how life works. Who watched the Pro Bowl? What did that look like? Football?
No, it looked like a.
That's what
very
happens when you
glorified
put,
flag.
if you have nothing but A-level, top-level tiered individuals on the team, there's nobody to play role player. There's nobody that doesn't want the spotlight. Every team needs somebody who doesn't want the spotlight. The grinded out guys. We have them. We also have people, all of us are guilty, all of us. I'm not pointing the finger at anybody. What you want to do is not point the finger, you want to drag the thumb back. It's me. Each of us know on our own level our own accountability for that. But what I want you guys to really do is two things the rest of the season. Really absorb motion offense, because that's going to be fundamental if you want to move forward in basketball. Two, I want you guys to grow together as a team, and instead of getting frustrated with each other, I want you to be positive with each other. Cover each other's back. If you see one of your teammates overplay and he misses the steal, we had some good ones. You had a really good recover where you did recover defense and you stopped the guy from getting a layup. We've also had times, there's a couple of times, Wyatt, Brock one time, and Ernie one time, you stood there and went like this, and another guy went, got the rebound. Okay? You have to go get that ball. When a pass comes to you, go get the ball. You want the ball, right? The only way to score is if you touch the ball. Who wants to score? Guess what? I want every one of you to score. If everyone's going to score every game, I would be happy. If we also won, guess what? That's pretty good likeliness if everybody scores. We're all becoming young men now. We all understand in a competitive environment, cream rises to the top. Cream rises to the top if it's a truly competitive game. What happens if you're on the end of the bench? What happens to your playing time? You get shrunk by the competitiveness of the game. What does that tell you?
Work harder.
If you're the one, I can only tell you that because I've been all the way at the end of the bench, and I've been a starter. Most of my career, I was used as a six-man. Spark plug off the bench. If you needed 10, 15 points. In fact, there was 3 games my senior year where I scored more than 15 points in less than 20 seconds. 4 or 5 possessions in a row, threes. Until they realize what's going on, and they do what I like I said, I always end up with the box one.
Less than how many seconds?
Huh?
Less than how many?
15. 15 points in 30 seconds, 20 seconds, twice. 4 possessions in a row. I got 2 steals, 2 layups, and then 2 threes. From steals from my other teammates, we were running the press. I scored 18 points in a quarter. It's not all that impressive, but for me it was a big accomplishment because I wasn't a starter. So when I tell you I've been where you guys are, trust me, whether you're the best player on this team or the worst, I wasn't the best. It took me a long time. It took me way till after high school to get to be where when I walk on the court, I'm one of or the best player on the team. Even at my old fat age now. I can still burn most people. So the lecturing part of the practice is over. I hope it sunk in a little bit. This is really about you individually. I want each of you to gain something from me because there was people along my journey that gave things to me that made my game what it is today. A lot of this was the work I put in, but I also had people to tell me what to practice to get this done correctly. Any questions?